All right, you're watching TVC Breakfast. It's time to know what the headlines are saying on Nigerian newspapers. A political technocrat is here, Dr. Dayo Kayode, as well as Shijibumi Adibi, Bennett Public Affairs Analyst. Gentlemen, it's nice to see you both.
I see you here.
Thank you so much for coming.
Good morning.
Great. Good morning. Now, let's start from the Daily Times newspaper. Daily Times says, Nigeria-China forex swap deal hits 1.45 billion Chinese yuan in 2 years. Okay, that's the Daily Times. From there, let's go to the Blueprint newspaper. Blueprint says, Southwest monarchs on the EndSARS protest. Governors far from traditional rulers. Ooni of Ife is saying this, and the nation's structure won't allow governors perform. Alaafin Ofoyo is saying this. Restructuring our security architecture is imperative. Obakiolu is saying this. Let's review the 2014 Confab report. That's another issue on the front burner right now. That's the Blueprint newspaper. National Economy says, COVID-19, Nigeria may lose 9 trillion naira oil. Has investments in 5 years. That's a report. He's saying this. Okay, 9 trillion naira oil. Nigeria might lose that in all of this COVID-19 stuff. All right, that's the national economy. From there, let's go to leadership. 25 states yet to remit workers' pension. 25 states yet to remit workers' pension. And they're still battling to clear 400 billion naira arrears. PENCOM is saying this. It says only 17 states have enacted pension law. Pensioners to discuss improved welfare at NEC meeting. All right, that's the leadership newspaper. From there, let's go to Business Day. All right, Business Day says that the African Continental Free Trade Agreement seen as game changer. But how prepared is Nigeria? How prepared is Nigeria? That's a big question, certainly. All right, that's Business Day. We'll come to all of this later on. Business AM is the next paper we're looking at. Fresh COVID-19 lockdown could cost economy billions of naira amid uncertainties. Bankruptcy and heightened debt service burden loom for businesses. All right, all of these on the front page of the Business AM this morning. All right, the next paper we're looking at is Nigeria News Direct. News Direct says Southwest governors, ministers demand implementation of 2014 Confab, a demand opening of closed borders, settlement of ASU federal government tussle, and a comprehensive program to address youth unemployment, adjustment of security architectures, preventive action against EndSARS demonstrations. Okay, that's the News Direct. Certainly, we'll be talking about this too on this show as we get along. Daily Trust is next now. Daily Trust newspaper says 6 Nigerians convicted in UAE over Boko Haram funding. There was no fair hearing. The families of the convicted are saying, we are on top of the matter. We are on top of the matter. All right, that's Justice Ministry is saying that we are on top. We're standing on top of the matter. All right, only diplomacy will work. Lawyers are saying this. All right, and the Daily Trust has an infography on all of that. Really interesting, and the names of the persons are there. All right, we still have other papers in here, but let's start the discussion. We may have to go into that now. The story on the front page of the News Direct: Southwest governors, ministers demand implementation of 2014 Confab. It's one thing that so many other papers here also that we're going into have, and this is one thing that is also going on the minds of a lot of Nigerians. We've organized since this Fourth Republic, we've organized about 2 or 3 national conferences, but none of them has been implemented. Dr. Kayode, let me start with you on this. What do you make of the call for the implementation of the 2014 Confab?
Yeah, you see, 2014 Confab was organized towards the end of former president. That's
Goodluck Jonathan.
Ebele Jonathan. And we have a lot of eggheads in that particular Confab, comprising of representatives of all the demographic characteristics we have
within
in Nigeria.
Okay.
You know, And it's so unfortunate that, just like you said, most of these confabs that we have been organizing, they're just like that 2014, which were just being left gathering dust in our shelves. Even after that 2014 confab, there was another committee set up, led by, I think, Governor El-Rufai, by APC, led by Governor El-Rufai. They also came up with some other things. And what are all these confabs even talking about? It's all about restructuring Nigeria. But the unfortunate thing is this. So many people are just talking about restructuring without giving it appropriate definition. About what are we talking about when it comes to restructuring? It is not about that we should split Nigeria. No. I wouldn't support us to split Nigeria. But let there be.
But those who are talking about restructuring, is anyone really talking about splitting Nigeria?
Most of them.
That's a long gone.
Most of them are always saying to your tent, O Israel.
Well, the point is, those who might bring that up might be people who want to play into that narrative so that the restructuring doesn't come on board.
That's what I'm saying. But then, what I'm saying is, when it even comes to restructuring, let us look at number one, devolution of power. Let us look at restructuring of concurrent and the other lists. All right?
Exclusive
list.
And residual list.
Yes. Let us look at resource control.
Right.
Let us look at whereby we have weaker central. And then let us look at whereby we can also go back to a kind of a regionalism based on, now, not the former region that we have in the First Republic. Rather, the 6 geopolitical zones. Do you understand? By the time we look at that, you're going to see that our health institution will be better. Whereby you have the primary, the secondary, and the whatever
and the tertiary
health sector. And local government, the state, and federal, they will have where to go within the health sector.
Yeah, we'll come back to you. Let's hear Shijibumi out on this. Now, Shijibumi, the point is, in 2014, this confab, recall that the government in power now, at that time they were in opposition, and they said, as far as they are concerned, they will not be part of this arrangement, and they were not. Do you see the possibility of the same government who, at the time they were opposition, were not part of it, implementing this 2014 confab?
That would be very difficult for me to answer.
It's just your opinion anyway.
Yeah. But I believe if we have 5/6 in the Southwest, APC has 5 governors, then PDP has just 1 governor. And these 5 governors can be said to belong to the party that was not
the party that was not party to the confab.
So if they are now saying they want implementation, that means they've seen and they've considered some of those resolutions of the confab, and they see that those things are germane to the development of the country. So it doesn't matter if you were part of it or not. Government is a continuum. So many of the things this government has implemented were things started by Goodluck Jonathan's administration. But the challenge I have is Nigeria is good with ideas and so many different resolutions from committees, but we're never good with implementation. And it didn't start from 2014. When I started following politics really well, I think that was Obasanjo's administration. Under the Obasanjo administration, there was something the National Assembly was trying to also resolve and come up with conclusions. That's about, when you have a president and you have vice presidents from all the 6 geopolitical zones, so that what happened during Yar'Adua's, after Yar'Adua's death, will have been resolved by that. A lot of other lofty ideas. But because of just one clause, which is the third term bid, alleged third term bid of President Olusegun Obasanjo, everything was yanked off. The baby was thrown away with the bathwater. Same thing we're considering now, that's the water bill. So just because there is something not really comfortable for us in terms of, okay, who controls the waterways, how is a river defined?
Yeah.
You know, what the back of my house, all that. But there's so many lofty stuffs there. So sometimes I see more of us playing to the gallery, more of us doing stuff.
But
than really looking at
shouldn't
the
also
substance
that
of the
be
matter.
government not being able to decipher, because you know these things will come. In the minds of Nigerians, when you're talking about a change from the way things have always been, whether it is cultural, whether it's economic, whether it's political, whether it's ethnic, whatever it is, people are going to read different meanings to them. So government should have, you know, had a way of preempting, projecting, and seeing how you can handle from that perspective in the way you communicate.
You know, the problem is this. We always find it difficult to carry along people, to the grassroots. All right? If people are being made to understand that this policy coming up, these are your involvements, these are your roles to play, it will have been so easy.
Yeah.
But you just see some people will just see themselves as at the top echelon of the hegemony, and then come up with some laws and all that. So it becomes difficult for people underneath, for people even taking over, to now execute such lofty ideas.
Okay. Well, the point there is, going forward, Chijibumi, the point there is the Confab. There was also the 2006 Constitutional Conference that we also had at that time. And like he said, eggheads came together. In fact, the point there is, all of them, eggheads will always come together. It'll always be eggheads coming together to, you know, think, brainstorm, reason what is the way forward. But in real terms, who is scared of restructuring?
I think when every party gets to power, they now see the kind of hold they have on the polity. So it's not difficult for them to let go of that enormity of power.
Okay.
So because who would have considered APC not towing the restructuring path 5 years into their administration? So, and I think they always see the opposition as trying to leverage on, because even the PDP was never talking about restructuring until now that they are in opposition. So those are the things we need to really focus and say, this is where we're going as a people. Then Dr. Kayode just defined his own version of restructuring, 6 geopolitical zones. My idea has been, okay, what are the issues less contentious? Let's tow those parts. State police. You know, devolving powers, more powers to the states. Let's start little by little so that we don't just take a leap at once. So I think that's my own idea about it.
All right, we have to leave it here now, one way or the other. A lot of people, when it comes to the issue of the hold on to power, to what end, really, do we grab this power, seek for this power, keep it, utilize it? To what end? Because we've always been saying that all the states that have produced presidents in this country, from Katsina to Sokoto to Niger State to Bauchi State to Anambra State to Ogun State to Bayelsa State, how better off are they to have produced the presidents? You know, so all of these things are things to ponder about, but we have to leave it here now. Thank you very much, Chijibumi D.B. Bennett, for your coming on the program.
Thank you for
having me. Dr. Dayo Kayode, thank you very much for coming as well. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Right. Let's go on a break, and we'll be right back on the show. Stay with us on TVC Breakfast.